This review will cover the case of heavyweight boxer Lamar Clark, and he's pictured there in on the far left there in a bout with Muhammad Ali, and he's has his arms stretched out there. And back then, Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay. And Lamar Clark was, a little background on him, was born in Cedar City, Utah in 1934. And he boxed in the heavyweight division. And he had an amateur record of 25 wins and 2 losses. And he turned pro on January 4th, 1958. And he won a 6-round decision against John Hicks. And there's some allegations that he had 2 professional bouts in 1955, 1 draw and 1 decision, but it's hard to trace back with accurate sources, and most people believe those 2 particular bouts were exhibitions and not professional bouts. And after his pro debut, Lamar Clark won his next 44 straight fights, all by knockout. And let me see if I can get a little... And there's another picture of him. As you can see, he's a short, stocky fighter, and he stood only 5'10", and weighed 185 pounds. And during the course of his career, let me get his... Here's his... And there's his record on the screen. And some of the fighters he fought against were... and won by knockout were Willard Whitaker and John Hicks again. He won both fights by knockout. He also fought Buck Dixon and Dynamite Jackson. And in Dynamite Jackson had a record of 1 win, 5 losses. And Lamar Clark won that fight in a first-round knockout on July 7th, 1958. And Lamar Clark fought all over the state of Utah. And he had 3 fights in one day on... November 10th, 1958, in which he defeated Ken Howard, Dick Tanner, and Maurice Lennis. And he also entered a Intermountain heavyweight tournament, and he won that tournament. And on his second bout in that tournament, he fought somebody named Hal Crump, in which Lamar Clark was knocked to the canvas 2 times. Both times he got back up and defeated Hal Crump in a second-round knockout. And Hal Crump was making his pro debut, and that particular day, and that was on... November 28th, 1958, and he also fought a fighter named Tony Burton. Tony Burton had a record of 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, and Lamar Clark stopped him in a 4th-round knockout, and that took place in April 1959, and Tony Burton was in the movie Rocky, where he played Apollo Creed's trainer. Then there are also some unconfirmed reports that Tony Burton actually had 12 wins prior to this bout. Anyhow, Lamar Clark's last bout, which he won by knockout, took place in 1960 on January 11th, and he won that fight in a first-round knockout. And it came to an end in 1960 on April 8th when he fought Bartoli Soni, and he lost in a 9th-round knockout. And that fight was televised by Friday night fights. And Lamar Clark only fought 3 more times after that, winning 1 fight, losing 2. And his last bout was against Muhammad Ali in 1961, and he lost to Muhammad Ali in a 2nd-round knockout. And at that junction, Muhammad Ali had a record of 5 wins and 0 losses, and that took place in Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky. And let me get some... I have some clips of that fight. And 1 moment, please. And here it is. It has no audio, it's simply video. And that's Lamar Clark on the right, Muhammad Ali on the left. And that's Lamar Clark being led to his corner and Muhammad Ali celebrating in the background with his hands up. And it did say 4th-round knockout, but that appears to be mistaken, whoever uploaded this onto the internet. And here's some additional pictures of Lamar Clark. Let's see if I can get these on the screen. One moment, please. Here's a picture of him dressed a little differently there. And there's a picture of him posing. And looks like that picture was autographed. And there's a picture of him in about, it looks like that picture's autographed. I don't know who he's fighting in that picture, but as you can see, he's a short, stocky fighter, standing around 5'10", which is kind of short for heavyweight. And it's unclear who he's facing in that picture. Let's see if I can get a little more. But the picture appears to be autographed. And back then, they didn't always take video of fights, so you had to have some still pictures are the only reference points. But anyhow, Lamar Clark was sometimes nicknamed the Cedar City Bomber, and he was never ranked, but he had some talents and some skills, and he passed on in 2006, but he got worldwide recognition for his 44-fight knockout streak. And that should do it. Hopefully everything uploaded okay. If you heard about this case, heard about him before, it's a quick flashback. If not, hopefully it's an informative review. And one moment, please.